next guest needs really no introduction. He's been here many times before. He'll be back here many times again. He goes by 3 letters, BSA, Big Sean Allan. Welcome back.
What's up, buddy? Thanks for having me back. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, well, now you're back as an IFBB pro. This is the second time we've had you, I think, as a pro on the show, and it must feel good. But now you got 39 days till your very first foray into the pro ranks of the IFBB.
Yeah, it's a dream come true, man. But like I said, I can't look too ahead. I take it one day at a time, and I'm just patiently waiting. But I'm excited, man. It's like, you know, I've been going to the New York Pro for years and years and years, and the love and the atmosphere and just the energy is mind-boggling. But just to know that now, finally, your dream has been accomplished, and they will be able to see you in posing trunks instead of, you know, always being told, you should be on that stage, you know, and just to know that Steve told me last year that he asked me in front of everybody, will I be on that stage next year, you know? And guess what? I'm going to be in there.
You delivered. You certainly delivered. Now, you know, a lot of people say that, you know, you have to visualize your goals and never lose track of that visualization, and that eventually, you know, the universe will give you what you envision. And it took you a little longer than some of the other people, but you did accomplish that. Did you always see yourself as a pro?
I mean, if you think back to when I first came on the scene, it was probably like 2000, I believe, 99. And when I did that big old arrogant whatever it was at the press conference, and everybody took it out and blew it out, that was the main event, and that's what started my career. But, you know, from that point on, you know, like Steve, Jim, and them, you know, Steve had me turning pro within 3 years early in my career, but, you know, I just never delivered because I was, you know, always in and out of things, learning the procedures, learning the game, not knowing how my body works, and, you know, just, you can have all the potential in the world, but until you put all the pieces together, it's unfinished business, you know? Yeah. Only a few can come through this sport genetically gifted and just come through one-shot deal, boom, and I'm a pro. You know, it's only very few, and that's the ones that's doing pretty good right now, you know?
Well, you predicted victory at that press conference. I mean, you predicted you were going to be a pro and you were going to beat all these people at one of the Olympia press conferences back in the day, and then obviously, like you said, you didn't deliver, but once again, last year, and you had humbled yourself after that, last year when you came on, we did an interview with me, I believe, a week or two before the Masters North American Championships. You promised victory, like Joe Namath did in Super Bowl III. You delivered. You promised victory. You delivered. You beat all your arch nemesis who had beaten you at the Masters National, Drew Jamot. And, you know, what gave you the gumption, the confidence to predict that victory?
Well, number one, it was we started at the Masters Nationals in Pittsburgh, and me and Drew went head to head, and I mean, in our eyes, we was backstage talking, and you know, one of us was turning pro that day, you know, and you know, in his mind, he thought it was going to be him. In my mind, I thought it was going to be me, you know. But regardless, it was a friendly battle, you know. We both same age, we've been doing this the same amount of years, you know. He'd been in the top 5 numerous times at the Nationals, but never could get close enough to get to that next level. But he's been knocking at the door, but not knocking where he can kick the door in, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's just been close enough. So, to make a long story short, I lost to him. I took second place, and he went on to the overall, but unfortunately things didn't go his way. So, to make a long story short, that battle is going to have to continue. So, North Americans was coming up within 2 weeks after that, or sometimes some short time notice after that, and I knew I wasn't going to accept second place because my goal was to win that show and then do that Connecticut pro show right after that as my debut. That was my goal, you know, with traveling distance. I didn't have to travel. That was in my heart. So when I took second place, that was hard for me to swallow. But as a man and as a competitor, what did I do? I embraced him. I gave him credit, hugged him, embraced him, you know, and that takes pride. You know me, I don't
you don't like to do that.
You know what I mean? I don't fucking like doing that. Excuse my language, but, you know, it lights a fire in me. But you know what? I ate it like a man. Second place, Sean Allan. Damn, close for no cigar. Okay, boom. You lost. I don't take second place as no pat on the back like, oh, wow, oh, you're getting there closer. No, I lost. That's like 15th to me. So, you know what I'm saying? So I'm pissed off or whatever. So I went back to the drawing boards. I was like, you know.
What made you become so beneficent and hug him and give him the credit he deserved on that one?
You know why? Because, like I said, I'm always the one that's always more the aggressive in the sport. Everybody else is more, they scared to be themselves. They, you know, they want to pretend to be other than himself. You know, I'm me. You know, I'm not going to go backstage and pretend to be nothing, but I'm a competitor. When I'm there to work, it's me against everybody in that building. You know what I mean? I'm not there to be buddy-buddy, but at the same time, we respect each other's passion. We're all there for the same purpose. So, you know, it's just a hidden desire to just continue to be the best. And when you got two people like that, you know, we from Jersey, you know, you don't want no animosity. You know, we was on the same flight. We talked, you know what I mean? It's respect. But it's in deep down inside, come on, man, we're chasing a dream. We hit balls to the wall. You know what I mean? Only one man can go. This ain't like boxing where I can dictate, go out here and knock this month out and I'm the champ. Nah, I got to play my cards right. I got to watch him closely. You know, I got to study his body. How can I knock him out? You know, obviously the judges didn't like his look because they didn't reward him that pro card. So right there gave me confidence. Okay, so guess what? Redemption is crazy. Now I'm gonna have to meet this man again. And I saw him at the airport, and I was like, wow, here we go again, round two. And I told him, it ain't gonna repeat itself. You're gonna be on the other side this time, buddy.
What do you say when you said that to him?
It just had that look like, wow. I mean, he already saw it. You know, it was like, damn, you definitely look harder and look like you know. You can tell when somebody got that glow. It's just like when you see the news, right? And you see this guy just killed someone, right? Like that Trayvon Martin case. And you can just look at a killer and you don't see no innocence in them. You know, you can see that devilish look, you know what I mean? Just like a competitor. You can see that look when they come in, they sucked up. He's hard, he's vascular, he's dry. You can see that fire in his look, and that's that fire that I got. When people see that fire, that's the one you got to watch out for, because them people, they did their homework. They ready to compete.
Did he congratulate you when you won?
Oh, nah, it was, you know, like I said, and that's why I was pissed off, you know, and you know, because it's a two-way street, man, you know what I mean? We're grown men, you know what I mean? Only, you know, you can't dictate who's going to win, but at the end of the day, give credit where it's due.
Yeah, well, you were jumping all over the stage, so he might have been afraid he was going to get hit by one of your limbs that was fluttering around all over the place.
Nah, but at the end of the day, man, like I said, I'm sure I see him in New York Pro, I see him everywhere, you know, and we're slap hands, and the story goes on, you know. It just so happened that it was just us being him, and you know, I wasn't taking no loss. I predicted it and I meant it. I did my homework, and I was confident I was going to do, and all I had to do was put it in the judges' hands. And like I said, every time that I've shown up in my best shape on my game, they rewarded me. You know what I mean? Every time. It ain't never been a time in my career. Yeah, you know, because sometimes I come in, I'm at 80%. If they see me at 100%, guess what? They're going to knock me back down to 70 because they saw me at my best. They're not going to accept that 80%. But in our mind, we think we got the judges. We got them figured out. You don't never know what they're thinking. You have to bring it every time, you know, and sometimes you just be lazy, like, oh, everybody telling you I'm full, you look good, you know, nah, don't change nothing up. So you play them little mind games and you keep tagging along, but as things go along, things start shifting up, the body starts responding differently, and things start happening, and you think you're looking better, but you're dramatically taking a turn for the worse.
Now, I made a statement on the radio after you won your pro card. I said Sean Allan should retire now because this is like the pinnacle of you know, he's at the top of his game right now.
Let me just tell you this, buddy. Thanks for that, because from that moment on, you just lit a fire in me. Don't never tell me to stop. I don't never stop. I waited all this, or I put all this time and effort in there, and then I'm going to quit it and be a spectator.
Isn't this a lot of pressure though for you? You just won your pro card. You're on top of the world. You get the interview. You know, you got all the pictures. Everyone talking about you. Now you got to go back to the drawing board and you got to compete against all these guys that have beaten you now. Is it intimidating for you? I know you're the biggest guy on stage, but it's got to be a little intimidating going back to the and now into the pro ranks for the first time.
To be honest, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not worrying about nobody because, like I said, nobody can beat me when I'm at my best period. You know what I mean? Study the people in the sport. Tony Freeman. Look at Sean Allan. Look at Ed Nunn. Look at Sean Allan. You put us all, you know what I mean? Like, I can stand on stage with the best of the best. This is not the NBC. We're professionals now. You saw me on the NBC, and I still look like a professional.
You did.
Wait till you see me May 19th. I guarantee you'll see something that you've never seen before. And I don't talk it. You know, when I say something, I bring it, and I mean it. I don't care who coming into the show. No disrespect to nobody, but don't count me out. I'm far from done, man. I get better every time. I love this. It's a passion. It's a passion. My biggest victory is against myself. If I can beat what I did the last, I'm going to be rewarded. I'm not worrying about none of them other guys. Guess what, man? I'm going to be 280-something pounds. Well, 240 pounds. You know what they're going to look like? Them the same the way they look. Everybody else look next to me, tiny. What they going to say? Oh, you got legs. My legs is shredded, man. My legs is all over the place. Come on, man.
I've been seeing pictures. You do look pretty good. I got to be honest with you. No one will be bigger than you on that stage. At 280 pounds, you know, what are you, 6'6"?
Come on, man. There you go again, boosting it up, man. You know, damn well, 6'3", man. 6'3", 6'4", something like that. But I know 6'5", 6'6".
I think you get taller as you get older. You're the only guy who still grows when he's in his 40s.
Yeah, I grow, but not taller. You said that right. I do grow, but not taller.
How's all your injuries and everything? You feel good? You've been training hard in the gym?
Yeah, man. I mean, you see the pictures. I mean, if I wasn't training hard, you think that I would have lost some thickness. That thickness wouldn't be sticking out like that. I'd be sucked out and more shredded. I'm still going. You know, I never even stopped training. You know, I'm not at full force like balls to the wall where I was strong as I was before, but I'm up there. You know what I mean? I'm right back where I was.
Now,
you know?
Am I the only one getting these pictures, or are you sending them to everyone?
You're the only one, man. Come on, man. This is a friendship thing that we've been doing for years. You know what I mean? I know you got Juan. I know you got the other competitors. Guess what? I'm still giving you pictures. I don't care.
That'll be interesting.
Do your homework because I'm gonna do mine.
It's interesting because Juan won the North American, and then you won the Masters. So it'll be like an overall.
And I wish I would have did both of them because, like I said, I would have made that history just like Mark did and won both of them. Because, like I said, when I'm on, I'm on. I don't care. I just took the easy way. I said, you know what? I ain't gonna try to get because it could come back to haunt me when you try to do too much.
Yeah.
Concentrate on, your game plan. You said you was gonna do Masters. That's what I concentrated on. Drew tried to do both, but what do you benefit by doing both? You know what I mean? You burn yourself out before you even get to the other one, and then you're not going to do good there. And then by the time you get to the other one, you're already flattened out. You can't feel. You know what I mean? You gotta play your cards right. You can't just do both, And I decided to just do one. But now it's the time. I never competed against Juan. You know what I mean? But I'm looking forward to it. I mean, he's coming in there. This is the backyard. He's with Flex. He's excited. You got Steve, another good guy.
Cool club, right?
He's looking forward to coming in here and be the next big thing. Young, he's hungry. Congratulations to him. And then you got veterans that nobody got the list yet. Nobody knows who's going to be anywhere.
Kevin English, I hear, is doing the Open.
You got, jumping up, and he's always a threat. That's a 212 champion, and then, I'm sure he's hungry for another big win. And the list goes on, man. And I'm just thankful and blessed that I'm given the opportunity, and I will not let the people that believe in me down, and I will not let myself down. When you see me on stage May 19th, I will look every bit of a professional. You may compare me to Paul Dillette. You may compare me to Arnold, but guess what? There's only one BSA, and you would not ignore me that day.
I couldn't say it better myself. There is only one BSA, that's for sure. Now, I had Triple H on the radio show a couple weeks ago, and he was telling me that his new role in the WWE now is talent, to discover new talent. And I guess they're launching a website where you can upload pictures and videos of yourself because they're looking for new talent. And I had mentioned to him that what they seem to be missing in the WWE nowadays is big guys. There's no big giant guys anymore that are, impressively muscular and tall. And you got all these short guys that do all these flips and back somersaults and stuff like that. And I brought your name up to him. And after the show, he said to me, you're right. The guy, what we're looking for is guys that have a good mouthpiece. And no one has a better mouthpiece than BSA as far as I'm concerned. Is that something that interests you? WWE?
Well, to be honest, man, I've been watching and following the WWF before it became the WWE. It was WWF.
Right.
And I've been watching and studying that for years. And, it's funny that you asked that because, like I said, I actually have one of Triple H's pictures in my living room autographed that my girl got for one of my kids at one of the Arnold's, I think 2 years ago.
Wow,
and,
that's interesting.
And he's an icon of the sport, man. He loves bodybuilding. He's a taller athlete like me, And when I see these type of guys, people don't understand. Wrestling is a demanding sport, but you know what? It's more personality. It's not like high school where you got to be a technician. You got to know this tilt. You got to know this cradle. You got to know this move. You got to know that. Wrestling is all pizzazz, personality, and energy. You understand? It don't take someone like me who's very athletic with the energy and fire that I got. That would be something that I would excel in.
I think so.
Unfortunately, I just think I don't have that revolving door allowing me to jump into everything that I'm capable of doing, embracing and things of that nature, But if that opportunity ever came in, I'll jog. I'm athletic, man.
I think you missed your call. I think you're wasting your talent. I think you should be perfect in the WWE.
Yeah, I think, like I said, I think I would have been a much better wrestler than I am a body.
Well, I don't know about that, but you know, you don't even need a script. Imagine if they gave you.
No, but what I'm saying is this, though, Dave. You know how I am, man. I'm a fire plug. You know what I mean? I'm a people's person, but you know, if you cross that line, you're gonna get it. That's what wrestlers are. You know what I mean?
Right.
They know how to. It's like a light switch. They know how to turn it on and off.
Sure.
But it's very demanding. Wrestlers ain't no punk. They're tough guys. They take a beating day in and day out. You don't know what their backs feel like. You don't know what them falls feel like day in and day out. Them hitting them ropes. It takes a man. You know what I mean?
Triple H said, he goes, I don't know what's worse, knowing you're going to be hit or not knowing you're going to be hit, you know, which would be in a regular fight. You wouldn't know if you're going to hit, but if you know you're going to be hit, it's just as bad. It might be worse.
Exactly, because you don't know what's coming. You know what I mean? You think it's scripted, but, you know, you might come one way and, you know, he's a little aggressive. You know, things happen. But, again, I've watched wrestling growing up. I mean, The Rock Johnson, that's his dad was Rocky Johnson. You know, he was one of the best. You got Tony Atlas, another bodybuilder who was an exceptional wrestler. You know, looked incredible. You know what I mean? Look at me. Can you imagine me in my posing trunks with some nice routine character coming down in front of 80,000 packed people? Come on, man. Could you understand what I would do in front of that limelight, that atmosphere? You
already got the name. They don't even need to change the name. BSA is fine.
They don't even have to, you know? And I have what it takes, you know? Like, so if that opportunity, if they got a website or something and
we got to make a video.
We got to do something, you know? Because, I got it, you know. I'm strong. I can slam people all day long. I've been doing that my whole life, you know, for fun.
You got to get like some lackeys, some bodybuilding lackeys you can slam and throw over your head, and we could do some video of it maybe, and have you talk some smack.
Yeah, knowing you probably have me come down to the studio. You get your little fucking 2-inch pool, and you'll be like,
"I'll build a ring in there just to audition you, so we can set up the whole thing."
Oh, that'd be hilarious.
But then people would be asking you. I'd be calling you up and asking you for tickets and stuff like that to get me into the events. So you'd be traveling.
But look, like you said, all the wrestlers that's today. I mean, why do you think they bring Rock back? Because they was missing that energy.
They're missing. I know that's the reason. They don't have any superstars anymore.
You know, it ain't got nothing to do with his name. They got to do with that fire, that energy. When he comes in the building, it's energy. He's going to give the fans what they came to see. May 19th, I'm going to give the fans what they came to see because they like freaks, and I'm coming in as a freak. Are you
preparing any kind of special routine or anything like that?
Dave, first things first. This is a jam-packed lineup, buddy. I mean, I don't know the names, but you know New York, they bring them, man. Come on, you know, Ronnie Raquel can show up.
I'm saying, are you going to prepare a special routine?
I'm not worried about my routine. Okay. I got to get through prejudging.
All right.
I got to get through prejudging, man. I don't look ahead to, you know what I mean? That's what people's feelings get hurt. This sport is unpredictable. You don't know which way it's going to go. You think I'm going to spend all my energy worrying about a routine that's not guaranteed?
Yeah, but you come to entertain, my friend. You always have a great routine.
Well, like I said, to be continued. We get through the first part of the show, and I'm in the Then you'll see. New York will be on its feet. Ain't nobody going to outpose me. I know that. I'm an entertainer. I'm ready for it. Trust me. It's all queued up and ready to go.
So you're not going to let anyone push you around on that stage if someone tries to elbow you out? You know what
Mr. Raquel's going to have to tell him? He's going to have to tell, guys, can you give each other room? Move over. Slide down some. Sean, slide down. You know, because I'm a wide load. I'll take up 2 spots. So,
I've seen you push people out of the way who try to get in your way. So these guys better stay away from you.
I don't pushing nobody around, but you know, I gotta get my shine. You know, I take up a lot of room. So,
are you bringing the whole tribe? All you kids? Are they coming to watch?
Man, I got a big entourage. It's gonna be, you know. I mean, I'm a local man. You know, I mean, but you got your New Yorkers. You got your New Yorkers coming in there with their fans. You got New Jersey. I'm bringing New Jersey into the building. You know, you got your everyday schmoes. You know, Steve brings them, man. I am so excited, man. I can't wait. You know, and that's why. Why would I not send you pictures, man? I've been doing that shit for years.
No, you always send me pictures.
You're always honest with me. I'm not doing that as no smack in the face or be like, oh, look at me. You know what I mean? I'm showing you I'm working. You know, we got a friendship here. You know what I mean? If you look at my picture and you say, if I say, Dave, what you think? You're always going to tell me. You know, you always have.
You don't like it, but I tell you.
You're the hardest motherfucker to get anything out of.
Yeah. I think you look good. I do think you look good. I got a question here because there's something interesting. At the end of the year, from what I understand, around December time, they're going to be holding the Masters Mr. Olympia. They're bringing it back. They're holding it in Prague, Czech Republic. They're giving away, I think, $200,000 with something like $300,000 in prizes. I mean, it's a huge purse. Is that something that you'd want to get yourself into? I could see that right up your alley.
Let me just tell you this again. I tried to reach out to what's the young lady's name?
Jarka, yeah.
And she refused me, man.
Really?
Yes, she did. You know, I mean, I've been in this sport for years.
She doesn't know who you are. That's why.
I wrote her a nice, warm welcome, asking for the invite, and she said, unfortunately, she's not taking no more competitors. Maybe next year.
What competitors does she have right now?
Like I said, I would have blended into that lineup perfect. I'm 40 years old, man. You know what I mean?
Oh, you would have been the life of the lineup.
Ain't nobody would have argued that. You know what I mean? But this is what I'm saying. When you finally earn your credentials, people think that the doors open and life just becomes blossom. Everything just becomes greener. Guess what? It's still the same, man. You know what I mean? You got to work in life to get what you want. Ain't nothing handed to you. They think because you're a pro card, you're going to be a millionaire. You're going to get the next big fucking sponsorship. You're going to do this. Ain't nothing changed. The only thing changing is my body.
Well, I think Jarka may reconsider after the New York Pro if you go there and do some damage,
Like I said, that would be definitely something. I would definitely, if I had the opportunity to do that, the Masters Olympia, I'd look forward to that.
I'd bring Big Sean Allen in for the Masters Olympia. I mean, that's you sell tickets. That's for sure. You might not win, but you'll sell tickets and fill seats.
Hey, come on, man. What I tell you about that? You know how many times you done did this, man? Should we go back to junior nationals? Yeah. You still doubting me, man?
I don't doubt you, but I'm just saying you fill seats.
Say I'm not gonna win, man. You understand? I will make you a believer, man. That's just me. I'm telling you, don't.
I know you don't like when I talk negative. You don't like when I talk negative.
I mean, I like it. You speak your mind, but I'm just telling you. You know, I'm not that one. I will make you a believer.
I'd love to see nothing better than to see Big Sean Allen standing between Tony Freeman and Dexter Jackson in that first call out. Believe me.
Oh my God, you know what I mean? But see, again, this is what I'm saying about judging. The same thing is going to happen in New York. You got guys that's 5'8", 240. You got guys over 6 foot, over 270.
Yeah.
First call out, say they're looking for English in the middle. You know what they're going to do? They're going to line up people that resemble his look.
I'd put you in the middle, even if you didn't deserve it. I'd put you in the middle of New York just to get the fans going crazy.
Because this sport that's the way it works. You know what I mean? They're not going to put a bigger guy like Tony Freeman. That's where he always gets messed up because they all got guys just similar. They all look alike. Where he's dwarfing them, but they got their mind made up for that certain look. So the bigger guy is going to fall out of the mix. So I'm just excited to see how this is going to fall out. All I'm looking for is a fair opportunity. They always have been real with me. You got Troy Alves over 40. You got Tony Freeman over 40. I'm at my prime. I feel like I'm just starting my career now. It's just starting. I've learned so much about the sport. I'm passionate about the sport, and it's a dream come true. I'm not going on stage as just
You're not a journeyman. You're not a journeyman.
You know what I mean? I'm not just going there like, it's just an honor to be here. If I place top 15th, I'm just excited. You know me, every show I enter, I'm there to win. I'm there to win.
I remember when Louis Ferrigno made his comeback at the Olympia, and I think one of the last call out was Lou Ferrigno, Paul Dillette, and Dorian Yates, because the crowd demanded it, and it was a great call out. I think that they should do the same thing. I want to see Big Sean Allen in the middle, first call out, New York Pro. The fans will go nuts. You know that, right?
And you know that, but like I said, I don't want them if I don't belong there.
Right, but I think if you look good,
don't go with this. Don't go with this. You know what I mean? Okay, well, you know what I mean? He's the youngest one. Come on, man. Just be honest. This is New York. They like freaks. Judge it and call it the way you see it. You never know. You got Bianca. You got all these different guys that can come out of nowhere.
I want Kevin English, Big Sean Allen, Steve Kuklo, and Juan Morel. First call out right there.
Hey, but let's get it on. That's a great call out. That
right.
Sounds about accurate as can be too. But Dave, let me just tell you this, buddy.
Yeah.
In no shape, I know. Again, we were supposed to do this interview before. You know me. I do not come on the radio to disrespect anyone. I come on the radio because I'm loyal to you, buddy. You understand?
And you didn't want to come on. You were insulted that I blew you off for 2 weeks, you said.
Yeah, but
almost didn't happen.
That's the bitch in me. You know how I get, man.
I
you know I'm dieting when I start acting
like that. I had to let you cool down for a day.
But overall, we always had that friendship, man, and I always appreciated it, But regardless of what, at the end of the day, I only roll with RX Muscle, man, because you've been there. Do you remember when we made that turnaround? I said, I got to start my career over.
Yeah. When you won the Atlantic States. You won the Junior Nationals.
Come on. And you've been with me since, man. You know what I mean?
I believe in you, man.
Come on, man. And that's what it's all about. and I just want you to know that I appreciate that.
I appreciate you being exclusive to us through our friendship, and like I said, I truly believe that you are one of the genuine talents in our sport, not only as a bodybuilder, but as a personality, and I think that goes a long way to helping the sport get public acceptance.
I mean, that's what it's about. I mean, if you see me walking down New York, down Chambers Street, and Jim Mannion is walking by, when Jim sees me, man, his eyes light up. You understand? He don't look at me like, oh, here comes Sean, here comes Big Sean, here comes trouble. They know who I am, man. I respect those who respect me. It's just these stupid Mike Tyson internet punks on there. They just want to just constantly run their trap, and they get me in trouble because, me, I can't just keep them out. It's like, regardless, I don't know who they are, but I just can't let somebody just exploit me all over the internet. You know what I mean? Yeah. So then I'm on attack mode. Then next thing you know, it's all blown out of proportion. But nowadays, my dream is accomplished. I'm a professional. I don't got an answer to no one. The dream has been accomplished. Big
Sean Allan will be on stage May 19th in New York City at the Tribeca Performing Arts Center. That's 39 days from today, making his pro debut. Big Sean, keep us updated. I'll be rooting for you, and we'll be there covering you.
Oh, and I forgot to let you know, too. Remember I was talking to you about the guest posing. I'll be
when are you guest posing?
The Lone Star in June 16 in Texas.
Wow.
Prince Harrison show.
I think I'm the one who recommended you for that, believe it or not.
See that?
I think I told Prince Harrison to get Big Sean Allan. I said he put on a great act. Great show.
I appreciate that, buddy, because I'm going, and this is my first one, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, people should more. I'm surprised more promoters don't hire you for guest postings because you're very reliable. You do, you talk a lot, but you show up. You're very very good with the fans.
Around. People want to see that. People don't just want to see a guy. Right. They want to see a freak. And that's what I am. I'm a freak of nature. I talk to the fans. I get a fan. I can pose my ass off, but I got to I just got to take care of business May 19th and open some doors and then go from there. But June 16th, I'll be in Texas, and thank you to you for everything you've done, buddy. Enjoy the weekend. I know you're probably getting ready to go down to L.A.
Yes, I am. Good luck.
Get it done, my man, and we'll be in touch. When you get back in, I'll have some new updates for you.
All right, Big Sean Allan. That's all she wrote. Great show. Brad Craig, 30th anniversary of the NPC Emerald Cup coming up this Friday and Saturday. I will be out in Seattle, Washington, covering the entire event for rxmuscle.com. You guys will get up-to-the-minute stuff of what's going on out there. There's over 500 competitors, so you're going to be a little... I'm going to be the only one out there, so you have to be a little patient with the results, of course, but we'll have them up. Also, Big Sean Allan, BSA, looking for that WWE contract, and he's also looking for a win at the New York Pro, his pro debut. Can he do it? Big Sean Allan, never count him out. For now, though, we are out of time. I got some working out to do. Got to get back in the swing of things. It was a long weekend for me, and I got to leave Thursday for Seattle. I want to thank Sean Allan and Brad Craig for stopping by. Until next week, remember, with Heavy Muscle Radio, the truth hurts.
Heavy Muscle Radio is a presentation of rxmuscle.com. The truth in bodybuilding. Tune in next week at the same time for another round with Dave Palumbo only on Heavy Muscle Radio.